I had somebody who asked me, why do you hate Bobby Flay? He employs and has always employed so many women in an industry that has a huge problem with women. Seriously though, why? Did he do something shitty I just don't know about? What did I miss? Okay, I will be first to say I don't know anything particular. Like, personally, I don't know a lot about the cooking industry. If he does employ a lot of women, good for him. I know that there are problems with it, specifically in how the idea of a head chef is so often a male, a man's role, even though cooking generally is women's work. God, air quotes. Good work done. No, like I know that that's an issue. If he does that in his restaurants, good for him. That's awesome. He deserves praise for that. My particular dislike for him, my particular problem with Robert Flay, is based off of his Food Network appearances, because he's a dick. He's got this attitude of being like he's got this whole smug persona, and specifically the fact that he has at least 2 shows where the basis comes down, or like the whole plot comes down to, hey, you know that thing you think you're good at? Bobby Flay thinks he's better than you. He had a show called Throwdown with Bobby Flay, where he had basically what it entailed was he would go somewhere and basically challenge somebody to make what they thought their best dish was, and he would make his version of it, and then there would be a competition, and people would choose which one they thought was best. A couple things that I really disliked about it. First of all, the way that they always did it was, oh, we're going to go to this town, and the people who run this restaurant think that they're going to be recording something for some other Food Network show that doesn't actually exist. And oh, it's a trick because they're here to actually compete against Bobby Flay. So I mean, it's kind of a shitty way to treat people, to be like, oh yeah, you're gonna be on this show talking about how great you are, or like not even like how great you are. You're gonna be on this show showing off what you think you do really well. Then, oh surprise, it's a competition. Robert Flay has decided he's going to challenge you in a contest to make whatever. Also, when he would do this, like, he would always, well, I'm going to put my own spin on it, which like 75% of the time was, well, I'm going to find a reason to put chilies in this that doesn't need chilies in it. Because here's the thing, Bobbert, not everything needs spice, just so you know. But, like, I mean, so it seemed especially rude to me in a lot of circumstances where, like, there are these particular dishes that have been made, like, traditionally in a very made in a specific. It's him showing up and saying, "Hey, you know this dish that you think you're really good at. Let me explain to you why. Let me demonstrate that you're not as good as you think you are. Because I'm somebody who is a better chef than you." And Bob Flay is somebody who's got a lot of chef experience. I mean, he owns restaurants and stuff, and he would be going up against like people who own like one restaurant, and it's like a small family thing, and it came across as really dickish to me. That's basically my problem with Bobby Flay, and I mean, in a way, it kind of seemed to exacerbate that whole issue that I know of in the cooking industry, where like there's a certain stratification of, oh, if you're a certain level of chef, like there's if you're a chef, and then there are people who cook and who have restaurants, but like, oh, Bobby Flay's a chef Bobby Flay, but and it kind of seemed to be looking down on the sort of people who, yeah, they're not a chef, don't have like a line cook and a sous chef in their kitchen. No, it's them and two other people working in a kitchen. So I mean, it did really kind of seem to come off to me as almost sort of almost a classist thing. I don't know exactly. I may be reading too much into it. The other thing that I know, one of the things that comes out of it is that Bobby Flay, Rob Flay, Robbie, Bobo Flay, he apparently is not a great baker, because a lot of the shows that he lost Throwdown Bobby Flay with were baking competitions, where he decided to challenge somebody who, I'm gonna just do a really quick thing here with Bobby Flay, Wikipedia. Give me the list of the episodes, Wikipedia. Throwdown with Bob Flay. Yeah, so he would win for things like burgers or cocktails, but he would lose for things like donuts. And I guess he actually lost a lot more episodes of Throwdown with Bobby Flay than I thought. But to be fair, that was always the first thing I would do when, because he has his restaurants, and he's going up against people who own restaurants, who work at restaurants named places like Lynn's Paradise Cafe and Izzy's Ice Cream and Auntie M's Kitchen. So I mean, that basically is the center of my dislike for Bobby Flay that I literally spent 8 minutes talking about now. I think a lot of what it comes down to is that it does seem like it's a much more, they're maybe reading too much into it. I feel that Beat Bobby Flay, at least, is a slightly different situation in that, people are specifically coming to, people are coming to the show specifically to compete against Bobby Flay. Whereas part of what I disliked about Throwdown was that, it seemed like it was a setup that they were going to be the focus of, the person who was kind of being, tricked into competing. I didn't like that. So yeah, no, I guess that's pretty much that. And that's what I don't like about Robert Flay. I don't know what that was about. I don't know. Nine minutes talking about Bobby Flay. Good use of your time, Devin.